Hi, adult learning helpers. So we're still having some challenges with what to do with WRTR, and I know it's a bit tricky and I know it's a bit odd, but I really need you to try and help your child make sure they're following the right format. And then same thing with adult learning helpers, making sure that they're marking in the right format and doing things in the consistent way. It just helps things move along a little bit easier, and then when I'm referring to a certain thing, then we're all following the same language, so we know what we're talking about. So basically, every Monday to Thursday, your child's book needs to look like this. So this is the test page. This is where we do the test together first. And then this page over here will be the new words page. This is the page that they'll do their homework on, their independent work, when they leave the meet. This is the page that you will mark them on. So for the test, they need to make sure that they are skipping baselines. So you can see I do not write on every single line. It is too messy and it is too tricky to teach kids how to space things properly and to use the proper letter formation if everything is squashed. Please ensure that they are skipping baselines every single time when they're writing in their books. Any time they're doing a test, they're doing new words, they're doing their journal, we always encourage skipping baselines. Now for the test, they will have 3 phonograms beside the star. So for example, if I say a, the student will write the word down. I'll ask them to put their finger on the word, put their finger beside the word or the phonogram, and then write the next one. And then maybe the next one is b, finger on the word, leave a finger space, and the next one is k. That's it. You as a parent will be marking these according to the answer key in the daily planner. Then we have the spelling words. They are only writing one word beside each number. That's the spelling words. They do not write anything else on this page during the test we do in class. So let's say that the first word was bell and the second word was cell. You will not be marking number 1 and number 2. In fact, on the daily planner, if you notice on the answer key, these 2 will say do not mark. These first 2 words every single day that we do a test will be the ones that I mark when you submit the picture to me, and these are the ones that I take the marks in for report card marks. So the children have practiced these words 4 times before they get up to the top of the list because they cycle from top to bottom. And then once they've practiced them 4 times, they should be able to spell them properly and they should have the correct markings. So I take the markings and the spelling mark from these 2 words, and those are the ones that I make up for their report card marks. That's why on the answer key on the learning plan or the daily plan, you will see that these say do not mark. Parents, do not mark these 2. These are the ones that I mark when you submit it. The rest of the words that we have, parents will go through and mark those. If they're incorrect, students will write them right beside there 3 times each. So let's pretend the next word is get, and then got, and then from. I can't remember what words we had, and let's say yes and no. Okay, so these 2, parents do not mark. They will not have the words for the learning plan on the answer key. However, the rest of them, parents will mark with a pen, preferably, because then students can see the difference. If it's right, they get a check mark. Let's say this was supposed to be the word not. Then they get it wrong, and parents write the word not beside it, the correct spelling. Then they keep going through, correct, correct, correct. Okay, so my child needs to do 1 correction. They are going to write this word right beside here 3 times. So the child again uses a pencil, writes the word 3 times to practice it. The point here is that they practice as they're getting them down here, and then once they get up to number 2 and 1, they should know how to spell them properly. They should have the correct markings. That's why that mark goes on the report card mark. So that's how the students will be writing the test. Then this is how parents need to mark. Parents also should be marking the phonograms. If they're wrong, parents need to circle them so that the child knows, oh, I need to practice that one a little bit more. Okay, now the new words in class we will write the new word one time each. So we'll write the word for and talk about it. We will encode it, recode it, decode it, and then we'll write the word taxi or whatever the word is. Again, encode it, recode it, decode it. This is all we do in class. That's it. When students are doing independent work, then they come and go, okay, now I'm going to practice these words. So they're going to skip a baseline and they're going to write the first word 5 times. So they're going to say or space, or space, or space, or space, or space. Check that they've got it 5 times. Check that they've got the right spelling, the right markings. Great. Now we look at the next word. Again, skip a baseline and write it 5 times. This is what the child is doing during independent work for learning block 1. If they run out of space, they just go to the next line, skip a baseline. Just like that. The last thing they need to do for independent work for learning block 1 is write a sentence. Any sentence they like, they can use both words, they can use one word, they can write more than one sentence if they want, but the expectation is they write at least one sentence. So something like, I will take a taxi. Now, adult learning helpers. If you notice your child does not have a period or does not have a capital at the beginning of the word, you can remind them, hey, what's your sentence missing? There's something that should be at the end, and the child can go, oh yeah, I forgot my period. That's okay. If the child has misspelled the new word, please draw their attention to it and have them correct it. However, if they're misspelling other words in the sentence that aren't one of the 2 new words, that's okay. We're not interested in that right now. The focus of this practice is to get the new words spelled properly and to have the markings done properly. The focus for the sentence is that it makes sense, it has a capital, and it has a period, and whichever new word they used, that one needs to be spelled properly. The rest of the words can have sound spelling or invented spellings. That's fine. If we give kids too much things to focus on and worry about, it's overwhelming. So that's why we make it pretty simple. Make sure your sentence has a capital, a period, and makes sense. And on this page, make sure that you have the spelling and the markings for the new words correct. That's all we want to focus on. On the test page, again, very simple. They need to make sure that they are putting the spelling and the marking of each word correct. If they get it wrong, parents need to correct that for them, and then the child practices 3 times. So hopefully that helps to clear up some confusion. I know some of us are still struggling. When you then take a picture for me and submit it, this is what I should see. I should see this page, I should see the work that your child did in class, and I should see that the parent has marked it, and if there were any corrections, they're written down. I should also see this page. Again, the work that your child has done in class, and then the work they did for independent work, which is their new words 5 times and a sentence. Both of these pages need to be submitted. This page, so I can take the marks in for this and make sure they're practicing properly, and this page, so I can double check that they've got the spelling and the marking correct and that we're writing sentences that make sense and have capitals and periods. Hopefully that clarifies things a little bit. If you still have questions or concerns, please send me a message and I'll try and help you out.